Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right in and cracking open the black box of a highly specific presentation, the Smart Solve DeFi, or SST, plan. Now, if you spend any time at all in the crypto space, you already know that platforms claiming to combine decentralized finance with multi-tiered income generate a massive amount of noise. Our goal today? We're not here to endorse it or critique it. Instead, we're putting their exact technical mechanics completely under the microscope. We are going to neutrally and systematically unpack the compensation structures and these really bold claims about transparency to see exactly how they pitch this system to unlock income potential.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with transparency and decentralization, then move through the Smart Solve platform details, check out the deposit mechanism, and finally, break down daily capital rewards, networking income potential, and the rank and infinity bonuses.
Starting right off with Section 1, Transparency and Decentralization.
And this brilliantly illustrates the foundation of their entire pitch. The source presentation places a massive emphasis on contrasting their model with traditional structures. They argue that centralized systems run on servers controlled by hidden owners, right? People who can change the rules, freeze your funds, or literally just pull the plug entirely. The alternative they're pitching here is a decentralized system operating strictly via an immutable smart contract on a public blockchain. According to them, it runs entirely on autopilot. What that means is there's no hidden admin who can go in, alter the code, or run away with the liquidity.
That brings us to Section 2, the Smart Solve platform itself.
1 million. That is it. According to the presentation, the absolute ceiling for the SST token supply is strictly capped at 1 million. Why does this matter? Well, they emphasize that the ability to mint new tokens or even burn existing ones is locked away forever in the smart contract. So it's this engineered scarcity, guaranteeing there will never be more or less than exactly 1 million SST tokens in existence.
Digging into the technicals, the platform runs on the Binance Smart Chain, with 100% of the liquidity supposedly locked on PancakeSwap from day one. That means absolutely zero tokens are held back by the creators. To make sure anyone can participate, the token uses an 18-decimal distribution, allowing for tiny, fraction of a cent microtransactions. But here's the genuine plot twist of this whole presentation. You actually cannot buy SST tokens on the open market. It's a cryptocurrency you literally aren't allowed to just go purchase. The creators stress this is a deliberate, hard-coded firewall to stop massive whales from swooping in, manipulating the price, and dumping on smaller participants.
So how do you actually get involved? Let's look at Section 3, Deposit and Token Mechanism. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how exactly the money moves if you can't just buy the token. The moment a user deposits USDT, the smart contract automatically slices the pie three ways. 35% bolsters the PancakeSwap liquidity pool, which they claim continually strengthens the token's market price. But notice that lion's share right there. A massive 60% is routed directly to a treasury wallet, and that is specifically to fuel the networking community payouts. Finally, a flat 5% goes to the creators, and they state this is their one and only source of revenue from the platform. The onboarding journey is completely anonymous. Step 1, you just connect a decentralized dApp wallet, something like Token Pocket or Trust Wallet. Step 2, you deposit USDT. Step 3, you claim your SST tokens. But to really reinforce that anti-whale philosophy we just talked about, the smart contract actually enforces a hard ceiling. You can start with as little as a single dollar, but you are strictly forbidden from depositing more than $1,000 within any given 24-hour window.
Let's look at what happens to those deposits in Section 4, Daily Capital Rewards.
Once those funds are locked in, the foundational layer of the plan kicks in. The presentation promises a flat 1% daily capital reward on your deposit. This payout essentially runs on an automated loop until you hit a 200% maximum yield. So it's effectively doubling your initial deposit over time, assuming, of course, the system functions exactly as claimed.
But as with all these platforms, there is a catch. You don't just get handed cash. Your 1% daily reward is calculated in US dollars, sure, but to actually access it, you must initiate a claim of at least $5. The very second you hit that claim button, the smart contract checks the live market price and pays you out in native SST tokens. This is a huge detail because it shifts the risk directly onto the user. You're now holding an asset whose value fluctuates based on that live market price, and you're just hoping it appreciates before you can swap it back to USDT on the decentralized exchange.
Let's move to and see how this builds the community in Section 5, Networking Income Potential.
Beyond those passive returns, the presentation outlines a highly aggressive multi-level structure designed for those who actively promote the platform. The first tier is the direct referral bonus. If you invite someone using your link, you instantly receive a 10% reward on whatever they deposit. And because the system forces users to eventually redeposit to keep earning past their 200% cap, it creates this continuous loop. You get that 10% every single time your referral tops up. Notably, unlike the daily rewards we just looked at, all networking bonuses are paid instantly in USD, not in the platform's native token. The rabbit hole goes incredibly deep here, 15 levels deep, to be exact. As you can see, the commissions cascade downwards. It starts at 10% on your first generation, drops to 5% on your second, 3% on the third, and goes all the way down to a fractional 0.5% on level 15. The presentation frames this entire structure as a way to siphon a steady trickle of income from an exponentially expanding downline. Basically, it's allowing promoters to earn from hundreds or even thousands of secondary connections.
So the crucial point is that you don't just get those 15 levels for free. The presentation makes it very clear that these deeper levels are locked behind gamified milestones. Take their 5 and 25 formula, for example. To unlock levels 6 through 10, you have to recruit 5 direct referrals who hit a specific deposit threshold, and your second tier must have 25 active users. It's a very deliberate mechanical lever designed entirely to force continuous aggressive team building if you want to access the full depth of the payouts.
And that brings us to the top tiers in Section 6, rank and infinity bonuses.
For the ultimate promoters, the plan introduces the weekly bonus system, which is structured through ranks V1 all the way to V14. To climb these ranks, you have to accumulate massive team deposits and actively balance your network. Basically, you're ensuring that your biggest, most successful branch of recruits doesn't entirely outpace the rest of your team. The real hook they pitch here: they claim that once you unlock a rank, you can never be demoted, granting you a fixed, salary-like USD bonus every 8 days. The absolute climax of this entire compensation structure is the rank V8 infinity bonus. If a user builds a massive enough downline to hit this specific rank, that 15-level cap we talked about completely disappears. They are granted an extra 4% commission on every single team deposit across a theoretically unlimited depth. The presenters position this as the holy grail of exponential, unlimited earning potential.
Finally, there's this fascinating cyclical mechanic they call the claim bonus. Whenever a networker withdraws their team-building earnings, the smart contract automatically deducts a 10% fee. But instead of that money funneling straight to a corporate admin somewhere, the fee is chopped into 1% pieces and dropped across 10 levels of the upline. It's presented as this constant automated injection of capital designed to keep the network energized and the funds flowing transparently.
So as we wrap up this explainer, we are left with a really fascinating overarching question. The Smart Solve presentation leans incredibly heavily on the idea that smart contracts remove human error, greed, and hidden ownership. But we have to ask ourselves, does automated blockchain-level transparency fundamentally change the realities and risks of multi-level network marketing? Or is it simply putting new, high-tech wrapping paper on a very old model? Thank you so much for joining me today. Always remember to independently verify the technical mechanisms of any DeFi platform before you ever get involved. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.